Mumbai is a city that just does not stop. An endless flow of people and cars keep the city alive and moving day and night. Finding open roads on this island of more than 22 million people is a luxury. So when that happens, even auto rickshaws race away. There are more than 4 million two-wheelers in the Mumbai metropolitan region. And the congested roads and streets are a hive of activity. Such a busy place may seem unlikely to harbor any wildlife. But there are some stunning species that can be found if you know where to look in this megacity. An unusual mix of conditions have created just the right habitat for a bird that is not just very beautiful, but also globally threatened. Lesser flamingos. These unique birds don't seem to mind the noise and the traffic. For those fiery red eyes are busy looking for the best feeding spots. Flamingos rely on the complex structures in their beaks to strain the food from the surface of the mudflats. Their diet mainly consists of microscopic organisms such as blue-green algae. And this habitat in Mumbai serves up their dietary requirements on a platter. As a result, it's not just a few flamingos that migrate here, but they come here in their thousands. They cover every available spot as they carry on with their feeding activities. The hot summer months in India are harsh and the relentless heat dries up the land. So some of these flamingos use the water from the creek to moisten the surface of the mud. A common question is, how did Mumbai become such a hotspot for the flamingos? And the answer lies in the wider landscape. The high volume of untreated sewage flowing into the creeks gave rise to the algae that the flamingos crave. The heat and the sun maintain this strange habitat of mainly blue-green algae known as cyanobacteria. This is a poisonous environment for many species, but ironically, the vibrant pink colors of the flamingos are thanks to the pigments contained in these organisms. The algae are also rich in chlorophyll, and so they match the colors of the plants around them. Other birds join the flamingos in their quest for food. Lesser sand plovers blend in against the muddy landscape as they search for worms and other invertebrates along the creek, carefully stopping every now and then, followed by quick movements to surprise their prey. Black-headed ibis are patient birds that survey the habitat. Their diet consists of a wide range of creatures, but not all of these creatures can be easily found on these mudflats. Some of them love to hide in the safety of the coastal mangrove forests. Deep inside the protection of the mangroves lie secret worlds. There are some hidden and easily overlooked spots that are home to some mysterious creatures. species that are perfectly adapted to live in this intertidal zone. Mudskippers, a strange fish that can live on land and water. They can breathe in the water through their gills and on land through specialized linings on their skin and mouth. Strong pectoral fins act as powerful limbs, and the positioning of their eyes gives them great vision on the surface. It regularly stirs up the mud to deceive any watchers of its presence. The muddy waters also act as nurseries for various species of fish. The thin, protruding aerial roots of the mangroves are the foundation blocks of a rich ecosystem. The salty water is toxic to most plants, but the unique roots of the mangroves stick out of the surface. By doing so, they escape this toxic environment. The extended root networks hold up the mangroves, filter out the pollutants from the water, and also provide habitat for other life. Like the stunning flowers of the sea holly, which supports a diverse range of pollinators. Or this floral display from the yellow flame tree, which also attracts a wealth of insects. The dense canopy of the mangrove forests are a safe space for hyperactive tiny birds such as this purple sunbird, which flits about as it looks for food. These mangrove forests are special not just because of their diversity, but also because of their importance for the humans too. Seen from the sky, Mumbai's mangroves are enclosed by the ever expanding city, and yet, because of stricter protection, they have increased their cover by about 20% in the last 15 years, which is good news for the citizens of Mumbai. For the mangroves provide essential and natural flood defense systems. They offer free water quality maintenance, and they also act as massive carbon sinks. Back on the ground, the mangroves and the mudflats are home to several hard-working species too. Juvenile orange fiddler crabs are tiny, but there are many of them, and these small crabs have a big impact on the ecology. By constantly sifting through the mud, they are replacing the sediment at a minute level, thus ensuring that the habitat is oxygenated, and this helps in the preservation of a healthy wetland environment. Others are busy posturing and intimidating their neighbors. After reaching adulthood, the male crabs will develop a single massive claw, like this fine specimen. He will save his posturing for a worthy challenger, but for now he seems content to relax and hold his ground. As we look back at the flamingos, it is hard to believe that all of this exists in one of the busiest cities of the world. As more and more people in Mumbai and the rest of India realize the importance of the mudflats and the mangroves, the richer this habitat will become. There are a few different ways of finding the flamingos that visit Mumbai every year. One is to get in one of the boat trips that run from the Thane Creek Sanctuary via the point at Pandu. This gives access to a sea of pink against the contrasting colors of the creek. Seeing the flamingos in such an urban environment, especially against the skyscrapers, is proof that the existence of humans is not in isolation from other wild species. But the wildlife is not limited to the mangrove edges along the creek. The Bhandup pumping station area is excellent for bird watching. Shallow pools of water attract juvenile greater flamingos, spoonbills, and even painted storks. Since these mangroves extend all along the Thane Creek area, it is possible to view them from the boardwalks at the center in Airoli. The viewing point at the end of the boardwalk gives excellent access.